Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Morgan and I'm obsessed with all things beauty and skincare related. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about what's going on with my health. I wanted to provide an update because I had made a video called, I believe it was like something about post-viral fatigue syndrome and kind of my story. And I wanted to do a follow-up video because I do notice people ask me for updates. And also I love to be very vocal about what's wrong with me because I think that there's so much unknown about my illnesses and our illnesses that we should be talking about this more. I just think it's insane to me how little doctors really know about these conditions and just how they impact people. I just feel like there's such a lack of knowledge. So since we've last spoke, I did let you guys know that my diagnosis was looking like something called post-viral fatigue syndrome. Just a quick backup story. Last December of 2018, I got severely ill with a virus called RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, that is more of a child virus, but somehow I had contracted it in my adult life. I was extremely sick for 3 weeks straight. That required me to be hospitalized for at least 3 days for people to kind of monitor me and assist my body on beating the illness because I just wasn't able to recover from it on my own. It was a very traumatic time and experience in my life. However, I have not made a full recovery from that virus since it happened. So, and it still stands today. I'm still struggling with the same issues. So what I wanted to let you guys know, since my last video, I had actually flown to the Mayo Clinic in Florida. Mayo Clinic, if you're not familiar with that hospital, it is one of the country's and world's best hospitals around. It's very hard to get an appointment there. They do have waiting lists. I luckily put myself on one of those waiting lists and thank God got the call because my local doctors they kind of knew what was wrong with me. They didn't want to officially diagnose me with it because I am so young and I had a career and doctors aren't quick to realistically diagnose everybody with these illnesses. And at least I can say in my experience, I really had to, the right word isn't fight, but I definitely had to get to the right people for the correct diagnosis. And that's what I had to do. I was kind of given really no choice. The doctors in my area did say they didn't know as much about my illnesses. That is why I had to leave my area. So finally, we had, as I said, we thought it was post-viral fatigue syndrome. When I went to Mayo Clinic, my husband and I were blown away just how more knowledgeable these people were on these conditions, and I was able to talk to so many great specialists. And what the diagnosis was when I had left is I do have post-viral / post-infectious disease syndrome. I also have something that's called central sensitization. Not a lot of people know about that, but I'll explain that in a second. And then of course I do have autonomic nervous system dysfunction. I do have low blood pressure, not high blood pressure, but what happens is my blood pressure drops, and in return my heart can't get enough blood pumped to it. So what happens is my blood pressure drops, my heart beats out of control trying to get blood, and in return I get very dizzy and I'm out of it, and it's almost as if I just ran a marathon. That's how hard my heart works just to get blood on a normal day. So it is similar to POTS. If you guys aren't familiar with that, it's kind of like the same idea. Your heart is pumping out of your chest from basic tasks between sitting and standing. My heart's beating out of my chest. Like, it doesn't take much for me to lose breath, and also I struggle with severe migraines, and my migraines get so bad that I will eventually, if I can't get them under control, I do have something like a stroke. It's not an official stroke, but it's like my body just kind of mimics a stroke. I guess it's under so much stress from how bad my migraine is that I do lose, almost lose conscious. My husband has to carry me upstairs. I mean, it's very scary. It's very scary. So I've been living with these symptoms now. It's now, we're going into fall. I'm still struggling. Every day is different. And I just fight to keep my head above water and take care of myself the best I can. Central sensitization has played a big role in what's wrong with me also. A lot of people that go to war experience central sensitization. Your body is so traumatized from what happened, it's not sending the correct brain signals to certain parts of your body. So for me, if somebody like moves quick in front of me, it's like I get scared. That's my duck. But so I'm like scared. I can't keep up. Sounds really bother me. Loud sounds really bother me, and it's like I can't be around it, and I'm like very uncomfortable, and like I got to get out of the room. I can't handle. I'm overly sensitive to everything. So a sound for you is going to sound 10 times louder to me. It's frustrating, especially for my husband, because sometimes he doesn't understand it. And we were struggling with that before that diagnosis. I was like, if he would swerve a little bit while driving, I would yell at him like, "What are you doing? You're driving wrong." And he was so confused, like, "What are you talking about?" Well, thank God the doctor looked at me and she goes, "Are you sensitive to sound?" And I was like, "No, I don't think so." And my husband's like, "Yes, she is." And I didn't even think about it. It was like something I never even thought about. Things bother me that I don't even think about would bother me. Then they bother me. So finally, they just hit a lot of points, and then they had asked my husband and I, does she like to be hugged? Do I like to be touched? And I didn't even realize I was doing this as much as I was, but I do push my husband away a lot. I don't like hugs, and I do struggle from fibromyalgia, so anything like touching me or hugging me, I'm very like, all right, enough, because I'm very uncomfortable in my body. And it's crazy because if you don't know you have these illnesses, if you don't know what fibromyalgia is or central sensitization is, you could appear to people as like a very like annoying or neurotic person. And that's not fair because we can't help it. So I just wanted to make that aware that I just wanted to let you guys know you're not alone. These things do exist in this world, and it's best to get to the correct facilities to get them diagnosed so you're not crazy also, because after a while with these illnesses, you start feeling crazy. People, you can't see it, right? So people can't see it. They don't see what you're going through, and then they just see what appears to be a normal, healthy person, and they don't know the struggles we go through. And it's sad, and it's very sad to me. And I just want to let everyone know, you guys aren't alone, and I know what it's like. I know, so illnesses like these, they don't just affect your ability to work, right? I can't maintain any type of schedule. I have, a lot of memory problems. I have severe brain fog. I can't keep up a lot in stressful situations. Stress definitely brings all of this on. Stress is a terrible factor. Exercise, I can't run. And the reason why I can't run or do any type of rigorous exercises is because we get crashes. I get very severe crashes where I don't know where I'm at. My eyes droop. I need to lay. I'm delirious. I don't know. I need to get into a bed or get on a couch because I'm done for the day. I've crashed. So rigorous exercise definitely triggers all of our symptoms. Hey you guys, it's me. I'm just interrupting the video. I'm editing it right now, and I left out two things that I wanted to just bring up. Also, I didn't touch on this. When it comes to coping with these illnesses, stay in touch with friends and build a support system. That's very important. Don't lose communication with people. Try to stay as social as you can. Text your friends. If you can't get up and go to that party that day, or you can't go out or anything like that, which is most of the time, just make sure you at least text somebody or call a friend or talk, and maybe don't even talk about your illnesses. Talk about things that you like. Just make sure you stay connected to people to, again, work up here. Don't don't try not to become a recluse and try not to become antisocial. And again, I totally get it. I know, especially if you're surrounded with people that don't understand what's going on, you can get frustrated with people and just not want to talk. I get that. Trust me, I've been through it. But find a good group of people. And you know what? It doesn't even be just one person. Like, find a good group that supports you and understands you and is willing to, like, be patient with you, and just make sure you stay in touch with a good group of people. I think that's really good for the soul as well. Friends are always good. Family, of course. Second, what I wanted to point out with symptoms of also my central sensitization and my fibro, as I said, I'm very overly sensitive to things, so I am developing just little rashes on my body. The doctors think I need a gluten-free diet, so I'll be working on that, but also it is a change of seasons, and my doctors are definitely saying, you know, like, just my body does weird things, especially season shifts. So just be mindful of that. And of course, I do have just sensitivity all over my body. It's all immune system issues. So again, if you're getting weird little things happening with your body that you normally used to not happen, or even just like allergic reactions to things, medicines, products, anything like that, know that that's kind of part of it, and like, don't get freaked out, because it's definitely freaked me out. I've never gotten like rashes on my elbow in my life. I thought it was psoriasis, but no, it's just like a little, just like irritation to climate and weather change and stuff like that. So don't get scared, okay? It happens to me too. So how I've been coping. So the next thing is, what do you do when you have all of this annoying things going on in your life that you have no control over? For me, so far, I'm still working on this every day. A big thing about these illnesses for me was acceptance. I could not, it took me months, I could not accept the fact that I was ill. Like, I still was trying to get up and fight and go and do the things I used to do, and then I would crash, and then, you know, I'd end up, my husband would have to be like literally taking care of me, like physically, like helping me. And I was going to so many doctors and making so many appointments and going to this specialist and going to that specialist and looking at everybody like, help me. And like, it was just, I was going into this tailspin because I was sick all the time. I knew I wasn't myself, and I got obsessed with trying to fix myself. So that's when I was obsessed with trying to fix myself. And of course, I go see a therapist, and I think if you're going through anything this traumatic, you should go see a therapist just to talk to them, to keep your head above water, because these illnesses can really get to you. So, you know, once I started getting, I kept doing it until I started getting repeat diagnoses, where I've had, you know, a rheumatologist, a neurologist, the Mayo Clinic doctors all kind of being on the same page, like, look, you have fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, central sensitization. You know, I was just getting a lot of repeat diagnoses, and that's when I lost my job. I couldn't go back because so once I lost my job and I kept getting repeat diagnoses and I wasn't getting better and I wasn't coming up from it, I kind of had to have that moment where it was like, you have an illness that cannot be cured, and you need, like, it got to a point where it was just kind of like, I needed to accept it. So, you know, I had, you know, I've been working on that through therapy. Once I finally realized, shit, I have an issue, like a real one, I cried. I definitely got real depressed and down on myself. I went through this period of not feeling good enough, like a burden, and I felt guilty, like, did I do this to myself? What could I have done to fix it? Should I have done this that day? Or what if I wasn't like this? And what if I ate this? Or what if I did that? And I really just started to with me. And I felt responsible for this. And once it finally sunk in that I had a problem, you know, then you have like all these guilt and like there's so much that comes with it. It's not like, okay, you're sick, goodbye, go home, everything, just lay home. Like, no, like I can't go to work. I can't plan vacations like I used to. I wanted to go to Africa for my 30th birthday. That's out of the question. My immune system is shot. I have a very weak immune system. I can't go to Africa right now. I can't even drive a car more than 2 days a week. Like, yeah, I'm gonna fly to Africa. Okay, Morgan, have fun with that. You'll probably get malaria. Like, but it's the truth. So now it's getting to a point. So when I went to see my rheumatologist, she was the one who was really like, she got pretty tough on me. Like, she was like, you need better coping. And I got offended by that because I was like, coping? I've been coping. And I was so angry. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I started, like, because so many people start reaching out to you and what's wrong, where have you been, da-da-da. You start emotionally just, like, shutting down. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody. Like, I cut, it's a lot accepting that you're sick. And I went into my, the doctor was really like, listen, like, this is your diagnosis. You need to start coping with it. So, the last maybe month or two, it hasn't been long. Like I said, I'm still in this. I'm still in my first year with this illness, so it's still new. As much as people say, yeah, you've had this for a while now. No, it's still new. It's still new to be going, 29 years of your life, crazy and energetic and going out and vacationing and working full time, having a career too. I don't have energy to do any of that. Everything needs to be in small doses. My whole life is restrained. That's a hard thing to grasp. And a lot of people are like, well, good for you. You don't have to work. You this, you don't that. It's different. Like, that's what people don't get. It's different. Like, there's a point where it's like, there's two ways you could leave employment is one, self-choice. You've chosen that life. You've made whatever. You've talked it over with whomever. You made that choice. You could stand by that. But then it goes to the period where it's like, you don't have a choice. Your body told you enough was enough. And it forced you to do things you were not prepared to do. I was not prepared to stay home full time. I was not prepared to not be able to go out and dance. I love to go out and dance. And like I had like as my therapist would call it, like a zest for life. I loved getting out there and I was just energetic. I was happy. I'm married. I have my husband. I have my house. I have my friends. I had my job. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't ready to just get sick and not get better. Like, so yeah, I get to stay home and I get really annoyed because people can get ignorant and be like, well, good for you. You're lucky. Yeah. Okay. But there's more to it than just being able to sit home. Like I said, you're losing a big part of your social life, being able to travel, being able to get in your car, being able to do errands, being able to cook a dinner. It's not work. Work is just a small portion of it. I have a whole other life. I can't do anything like the same. So, okay, so what I've been doing, how I've been coping, well, one of the big things is try not to get depressed. That's hard, right? That's really hard to do, right? So for me, as of right now, because I know if I get depressed, that's it. I'm not getting out of bed. Done, right? So when you're really sick and you're really struggling, it's like a fight. It's like your instinct kicks in and you have to fight to stay alive. You have to fight to keep your life. Like, that's how I feel. I need to fight every day to keep your head above water because if I get depressed, that's it. I'm not going to be anywhere. I'm going to be in my bed feeling sorry for myself. So I'm trying to stick to the same Morgan as I used to be as much as I possibly can at a healthy level. No, I cannot go to the bar and go dancing. No, I can't drink. You don't even want to drink when you have this shit because you feel drunk all the time. Last thing I want to do is like mix it with alcohol. Like, The medication that I'm on, the two medications, if you're curious, that have truly helped me are amitriptyline and Cymbalta. So if you guys are looking for any type of medication that you think may help you, try those two out. Those are the only two that have truly at least helped me get out of bed. I am 100% reliant on medication. I cannot be off of it because if I am off it, I'm basically bedridden and I have no life at all and I'm completely uncomfortable and in pain. So I do need medicine. Of course, it's causing issues with wanting to have kids. That's on my plate. You know, of course, it's a big thing. I'm happily married. I'm going to be 30 in October. What happens next? You're supposed to have kids. Well, I've been given this, I've been sent down this path instead. So I have to fight. I have to fight. I have a long way to go. Self-care is very important to me. As you guys know, my whole channel is revolved around it. Skincare routines, number one on my list. I always keep up with my skincare routines because that's what I truly love to do, and that's something I can maintain. Doing my hair is important to me when I go out. I will probably have makeup on. My hair will be done. When I go to functions, you know, baby showers, weddings, birthday parties, whatever, chances are I'm going to be dressed nice and I'm going to have makeup on and I'm going to be put together. Want to know why? Because I want to pretend like I'm not sick. So you could only do that to a certain point though, because you have to know you're sick to take care of yourself, but then you also have to not get too far into that. So I like to present myself, put together. I like to look nice. For me, right here. It's for me. And a lot of people will look at me. This is kind of annoying, but a lot of people will just be like, you look good. They'll just look at me like that's what they say. A lot of people say that to me. They'll just be like, oh, you're gonna be okay. You look good. Like that's what people say. And that is kind of annoying, and it's kind of like a, people are ignorant. People are ignorant when it comes to illness, period. They're just ignorant. And that's something, that's a huge thing that we people need to, us with being chronically ill need to deal with on the daily. And it's frustrating because I'll tell you what, we never signed up for this. I never signed up to be sick. I never signed up to have to friggin' educate people on what's wrong with me 24/7. I never signed up to have to defend myself. I never signed up to feel insecure. We never signed up for all this. So like I'm still, you know, I'm with you. Like I'm pissed. So right now I'm trying to stay true to myself. I'm trying to live within my limitations. I think that's what's also helped me the most, is living within your limitations. Accept that you're sick. Say, all right, I'm sick. I can't do A, B, C, and D. I can try it maybe a little bit, but don't push yourself because it's not worth it. Live comfortably within your limits. Stay true to yourself. Take care of yourself. Keep your head up because we're going to be okay. And if you guys want to reach out to me, please absolutely do, because this is something that I fight with every day. This channel, my followers, my subscribers, you guys have helped me so much. Having this channel and talking about things I love has just been huge. So this is just a hobby that I've been trying to maintain to keep my head above water. But everybody, thank you so much. This is a really long video, so I hope you enjoy yourselves and keep fighting. Know you're not alone, and I understand and I'm with you. I know how frustrating and sad this can be. So try your best to keep your head up. Have a great day and have a well day. Love you. Goodbye.